Grana Weep Ninny Bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we're going to be taking a look at the brand new studio series Starscream from the Bumblebee movie, and this dude is currently in his Cybertronian form. So let's start off as we always do on this channel, looking at the packaging, the box. So the box looks okay. You've got a lovely looking translucent window here, which is always nice. Then we also have the Starscream here, which almost looks like it's taken straight out of the movie, and I believe that it is. We have the 72 underneath it. Bumblebee, Hasbro, Starscream, Studio Series, Transformers, Takara Generations, and at the top we get Transformers and a little window. And then at the side we get Starscream, Authentic, and then we get an Autobot symbol. Well, I don't know why we get an Autobot symbol, but we get an Autobot symbol. Decepticons logo maybe would have made more sense. Who knows? Then on the back we do get a Decepticon symbol. We also get told, don't feed them to your children because they have small parts, or don't eat your children because they have small parts. And then at the back here we see the bot in its fully botted mode, and then we have the alt in its fully alt mode, and it changes in 31 steps. Comes with this nice little diorama backdrop that we'll have a look at in a second. On the back here we get 72 series, and that's really it for the packaging. Here's a Voyager class. If you want to know about the classes, I have just done a video on the classes that I will link here. In addition, we do get the destructions that are kind of weird, thin destructions. They are in the worksheet format that I like, but they're really long. They're like, they go on forever, and they're double-sided, but they're just really long and awkward to use. Not my favourite. So that's it for the packaging. Time to look at the main event himself, and I really did buy him for this mode because I really wanted a Starscream that looked like this. I'm a big fan of Cybertronian alt modes and try to get as many as I can in my collection, so this dude was a must. It's a very, very interesting figure, and when we look at it, it looks so cool. It's very different to some of the Starscreams that we've seen in the past, or any of the Seekers that we've seen with Cybertronian mode. So it's a different take on the Tetrajet with his low-hanging piece at the bottom. I want to say something else, but maybe TOS won't allow me. But it is quite a distinctive looking jet. Colors, I like it. I like the yellow top on the front, the reds for Starscream, the blues for Starscream, this blue bit at the front as well, and in the bottom we have the nice grey cannons. Going round the back we also have these lovely black looking engines here. The bits that stand out, I like these little jaggedy edges and stuff that it has as well, so it's a really nice looking figure all in all. I actually really like this alt mode to look at. Then we come to the challenges that I have with this. The plastic on it feels okay. It feels alright as an alt mode here. I quite like the way that it feels. However, they've gone back to using rubber tips. This takes me right back to the G1 days, and I don't know if they were trying to do a callback to G1 by giving it a rubber tip, but I know what will happen with this. Within a couple of years it will be drooping down like this. So first of all, I hate this. I really wish this was just a solid plastic, but they've gone with the rubber plastic here. The solid plastic here is very, very nice. That's not squishy, so that's very, very good. But these wing tips here, and you can see, look at that peg. See that peg there? This wants to pop off every 2 seconds. If I put it there now, it will eventually just, through me going, it will just work its way off, and then as soon as you go to turn it at all, it pops out. Instead of going the way that it wants to, it really does just want to pop out all the time. So for me, this peg I'll probably have to just scrape something off the inside to make sure that this peg is okay. But it doesn't fill me with any kind of joy whenever I want to turn it, because the first thing it wants to do, this one's not too bad, but it's, there we go, so you do a full twist on it and it just comes off. So the pegs here on these ones for me, they're not great on these wings. So I like the way that the cannon actually hangs down here as well. I think it does look pretty cool, and again, like I say, just gives it that distinctive look. You can articulate the wings if you would like them in a slightly different pose, depending on how you're willing to fly this dude where you want it. You can have the wings like that, or like that's as high as they'll go, and then they lower down like that. The good thing about him being in kind of this pose is he can land with the greatest of ease. Another slight issue on this figure is this bit here at the top. Even if you do peg it down a little bit here, it always wants to kind of spring up, and you can get it, but then you're left with gaps, and then this doesn't want to go. So yeah, all in all, it doesn't go together as securely as I would like. Time for the comparison then, and let's compare him to some other Starscream. So first of all, we will compare him to Earthrise Starscream, probably the best Starscream in my collection. And then we will put him up against the Siege Starscream here. So we get three little screamers together. I actually, out of all three, I know it's probably a bit weird, but from a Cybertronian take, I actually prefer this as a Cybertronian take to the Siege one. Probably controversial, probably most people prefer this one, but I really like the look of this. Okay, so transformation time on this dude, and feel free to count with me how many times these wing pieces fall off during this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this section here and this section here, because we don't need these anymore. So we move over, then we take off the bottom piece here, and that will come off as well. We'll use all of these later on when we go to transform this little dude. So the first thing we're going to do is, and then we're going to go up the top here, lift this up and move this section back down. Here we can just undo everything that was here as well, because this was all put together, and then fold this in, then move the leg out and move the leg out, and we might as well just sort all this out here. So bring the foot down, and you can then fold everything back away inside the leg. And then on this side, it's a bit of an odd one. It's like asymmetrical. Usually you get two sides, but this one is kind of asymmetrical on this one, which is a little bit odd when you first come to do it. And then this piece just goes around there and slides in the same way, and then goes in. So that asymmetrical piece goes in, and then you've pretty much got the legs done. Then at this point we can pop the nose cone down and undo these two sections here, which will then allow us to bring the arms out and unfold them, pull the wings back and unfold that one. So you can see now you've got quite a nice empty space here to allow this to come down, bring down this piece. So you bring everything together just like that, so the whole piece is put together, and then bring everything together, and you'll see that this just snaps over there. So you've got this section here, bring that down, bring the hands down and twist the arm round, bring the hand down and twist the arm round, click click, and then this will rotate up. Only once has it come off there. That's not too bad. And then, but now you can see what I'm talking about. You have to really kind of force it in, click it back, then that section there, and then this is going to, yeah, you might as well just take it off and fold it back up. On this one as well, fold it back up. So real challenges when you have to kind of rotate these ones around. bring it round to the other side, and we're gonna just rotate it round so that you've got these sections here, and then bring it out and bring it out. This one, like I say, this one keeps wanting to flip out on me, and then we just add back in the two guns that have these ports here. One goes there, and the other goes there. So here we have our fully transformed Starscream, and he does look okay in this mold. Right here, I think he looks okay. He doesn't look too bad. He looks very movie accurate, I'll give him that. He does look very movie accurate. He's a little bit gappy. I like the reds, the blues, the silvers. Definitely stand out a lot. Classic sort of grey Starscream parts to him as well. If we bring him in for a closer look here, we can see the head sculpt is okay. He looks a bit miserable. He's got a bit of a miserable face on him. Nice glowing red eyes with this kind of... The black paint looks like it should be tacky, though. It looks like it should be really tacky. It's very, very shiny and looks a little bit odd. But then we get the nice kind of... It's kind of a blacky brown. I don't know if the camera's picking it up enough here, but there's like a blacky brown type color there. Lots and lots of molded detailing though as we go through the figure, which is pretty cool. Sorry, I forgot to do one thing on the transformation, which is bring this section here up and this section here up. That's the one thing I did forget to do, so it does come forward a little bit here. Then we have nice molded detail in here. The inside is beautifully molded, detailed there. Hands, obviously non-articulated hands, but they do go up and down. The bottom here also has the molded detailing on the inside, which is a nice little touch. I have to say that is quite a nice touch. They have done a lot with regards to the molded detailing. The body looks a little bit odd though, you know, because of this, the way that it's angled up at the back, it just doesn't, for me, the back piece here never looks quite right. It doesn't look like it's flat. It just doesn't look like it's transformed correctly. Very, very bizarre the way that it looks on this figure. So now let's look at this dude from an articulation point of view, and from an articulation point of view we will get a full 360 on the head and no real up and down. So yeah, a little bit disappointing from a Hasbro figure to not have any up and down, but I guess that's due to the fact that the neck is at this kind of slant. You will get a full 360 at the arm as long as you twist it round like that. Also you'll get a full 360 at the top of the arm, and then you'll get an overextension really on the elbow, which is nice, and then the hand will go up and down, and that's about it really. The legs are where you'll see a real challenge. So here, that's the sole extent of the back articulation you're gonna get. You can get some more with an E, which is nice, but that's all you're gonna get. You can get some side action. He can ninja kick very, very well, very balanced figure, which is great, but no, that's all you're gonna get. Toe articulation as well, and you'll get some thigh swivel as well. Hips are another bit of a nightmare. You're only going to get a very small amount because he's a seeker, and that's how seekers roll, I guess. So you also get a little bit of extension here. You get articulation in the wings, up and down and round and that, and you can twist these, but they will, here we go, that's fallen off again. You will get these to just fall off at will. So that's the extent of his articulation. Accessories, he does come with accessories. So then you get the big gun. This is a very cool gun. I do like this gun. This is a very big bonus for him in this form, and it does just kind of fit on his arm there. He's got a little peg and he can hold it And I do like the look of that gun on his arm. Very, very nice. So from an accessories point of view, you can remove this gun and you can give him these little guns as well on here. And you can give him this little gun on here. Like so. So you can have him a little bit like that. So he looks a little bit like two gun techs. And then, can they fit in there? Yeah, no, they don't fit in there. But you can't have null rays kind of on his arms. Classic Starscream. But hey, that's not movie accurate, so I understand why not. As promised, this guy does come with a backdrop. And yeah, you have to flatten the backdrop out quite a lot. Bring the wings in quite a bit. Just to make him kind of stand on the backdrop. Because otherwise the wings will be at a funny angle so that they don't really work. And yeah, that's him on the backdrop. I mean, it looks okay. It looks quite nice. Let's give him his full glory here. And yeah, with the gun, you know, he fits on this stand piece quite well, and the backdrop is quite nice looking as well, if you want to give him that look from the movie. So now let's bring in those figures in for the comparison, and we can see here we have Starscream from Siege, and then we also have Starscream from Earthrise. And I have to say, out of all three, I think I still prefer the Earthrise look. From a Cybertronian look, I think I'm always going to go with the Siege one because it does look great. This doesn't look bad. I have to say it is reasonably nice. He is Voyager size, and you can see that he actually scales quite well with your Siege figures, but definitely looks like he's from another world, from another line, and from a different dimension. So final thoughts on this dude and would I recommend him? It's a hard one. It's a hard one. For me, I don't think I could recommend him right now. Things like the wing falling off all the time, the section at the top that doesn't hold together properly when he's in his alt mode, just really let the figure down. Such a shame. Such a shame. Let me know your thoughts on this dude down in the comments. Did you like him? Has yours got the similar problems to mine, where this piece just wants to come off all the time? And I'll see you in my next video in a bit. Peace.